guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Justina, and here I like to make, create, and inspire fun art things with you through my DIYs. I first want to say I hope everybody had a happy, healthy, and very full Thanksgiving break. I had a blast with my family and much needed quality time with everyone. But it is now time to get back to work, and since the holiday season is right here, right now, I have this amazing DIY for you that is not only decor, but it can also be a game that me and my family love to play, and I just wanted to share it with you. Before we get started, if you are new here and you haven't yet subscribed, I hope you do that today. All you have to do is click on that big red subscribe button down below. It is totally free, but don't forget to click on that bell notification so YouTube can always notify you every time I upload a new video. Plus, we would love to have you here for our virtual art family. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for being here and clicking on today's video. I really hope you enjoy. Don't forget to do all the YouTubey things like comment, share, subscribe. And with all that being said, let's just jump right into it and let's art today. Today's DIY is so simple. Now, a lot of these materials I already had on hand, so I'm just using what I have, but you can definitely recreate this with Dollar Tree products or with empty boxes that are lying around your house. I have 4 empty coolers, as you see here, various sizes and shapes. Some of them are rectangle, some of them are square, and one is really long. And I have this old hat that I purchased from the 99-cent store, and when I stacked them up, it looked like a snowman. So that is what we are going to create today. For our top tier, which was the small square box or cooler, I want to make our little snowman's face. Now, there's all sorts of ways how you can create this. You can use your Cricut machine. You can print out an image and paste it on. I am going to free draw it, and first I'm trying to find the center of my box. That way it gives me a good reference on how to start drawing my little snowman here. I am just using a pencil very lightly, and I know it's really hard to see, but I don't want to press down too hard because then I will imprint the foam, and I don't want that. So I am just going really lightly and drawing on a face. Remember, if you are recreating this, you can make this as detailed or as simple as you like. The possibilities are endless. Now that I have my sketch of my snowman's face, I'm just using basic acrylic paint to fill it in. Once again, you can always use your Cricut machine, stickers, or whatever you have to make the little face, but I love painting, so I am going to paint in our little snowman here. I first am filling in the eyes using black acrylic paint. Once again, my black acrylic paint is Apple Barrel, and I usually purchase it from Walmart. It's very inexpensive, and you get a lot for the amount that you get, but you can always paint your snowman's eyes blue, green, however you see fit. I'm just filling in the lines in every part of my snowman. I have to give about 2 thick coats of paint to make it really opaque. Now that I have my eyes filled in, I'm filling in the little carrot nose. Once again, I'm using basic acrylic paint, and this one happens to be pumpkin in the color orange. Obviously, I'm just making sure to get as close as my sketch as possible. That way it looks nice and neat. After I have my nose on, I will then take a Posca paint marker because the lines were really thin, and this will give me a guide if I want to fill it in, which I did with a thin paint brush. So this is technically like my first layer, and then I go in with a really thin paintbrush and paint over that line just to make sure everything is opaque. Now, I gave my snowman a little open mouth, and I wanted to paint on a little tongue, but to change it up a bit, you can always add little dots for coals for the mouth or have him have a silly face. Once again, you can decorate this however you want. Very detailed, very simple, but I just love how happy he looks right here. Now I'm going in with a really pale pink and I'm giving him some rosy cheeks. I'm using a really flat but bristle brush for this, and I'm pushing down and fanning it out like you would do with blush. At least that's what I think you would do with blush. I don't wear any, so I'm just adding it on and spreading it out so he has nice rosy cheeks. Once I was done giving him his rosy cheeks, I did want to give some highlights and contrast, so I will highlight it using white acrylic paint and using my Posca paint marker again to outline the outer edges. Question of the day: do you and your family have a game that you play every year for the holidays, or do you like to change it up, or do you not even play games around the holidays? Me and my family are a big time game family, so we try to play as much games as we possibly can, and we are very competitive. Let me know down in the comments below. The last thing our snowman needed for his face was these little eyebrows, and then I set that to the side to completely dry. For his next layer, I have this medium-sized cooler. It's like a rounded rectangle, and I just thought this would be perfect to give him a little scarf. Now, if you do not have coolers, like I mentioned before, you can always use random boxes and then wrap them using white wrapping paper. They have it out at Dollar Tree right now, or at any store available that has wrapping paper, because I've seen it everywhere. You just wrap up your boxes and then you can sketch on your image that way, or you can use your Cricut machine or stickers or even hot glue on some ribbon to actually be the scarf. But once again, I am just going to paint it on. I have some red acrylic paint, and after I had my sketch where I like it, I'm just filling it in. Now this did take about 3 coats because it was a larger piece, and I was trying to make sure that I got everything in those cracks and those little crevices just to make sure he was nice and opaque and it really looked like a scarf. Now in hindsight, looking back, I should have used a larger paintbrush just to make sure that I got more surface area covered, but nonetheless it did work out fine. Now since this is the first layer of our snowman, he needs a little coal button, so I'm going in with black acrylic paint, making a circle and filling that in. Now I also wanted to add a lot of detail to my scarf just because it was looking a little flat, so I took a smaller paintbrush, dipped it in some black acrylic paint, and started making these little lines. That way it could be the fringy part of our scarf on the bottom. I also used some gray and white, mixed it all together to make different layers of that fringe. I did use my Posca paint marker to start outlining the scarf just to give it, once again, more character and detail. But remember, you can always skip this part if this is too detailed or too much for you, and make it however you like it. I did add some more squiggly lines on top of our scarf, and then I also added more highlights as well. Once that was completed, I did set it off to the side to dry completely, and then we can work on our next 2 tiers. Now for this one, it was pretty simple because it just needed some buttons. So once again, I'm just drawing 2 circles and filling it in using my black acrylic paint. Again, I did have to give it about 2 to 3 coats to make sure that I got into all of those little crevices, and then I set that one off to the side. For the bottom tier, our final tier, it is a longer rectangle cooler, and this one had some tape on the side and a lot of messed up pieces. So to remedy that, I didn't know exactly what I wanted until I was like, oh, let's just give our snowman some feet. So that's what I did. I made 2 of these little hills and I'm filling it in with black acrylic paint. I also went in with a smaller paintbrush and gave our snowman some shoelaces. Did add highlights to it and then set it off to dry completely. Now it's time to work on our snowman's hat, which is one of my favorite parts. Now I wanted to wrap the brim of the hat using this red velvet ribbon that I've had in my stash for years, but you can find all sorts of ribbons at Dollar Tree right now or in your crafting stash because I'm sure you have plenty around this time of year. I am hot gluing that ribbon onto my hat and I'm trying to press down firmly, making it nice and tight. Now for this, I did mess up a couple of times, but I did realize at the very end I wanted to make this double-sided. So I am adding more ribbon onto my first ribbon just to give it more layers and interest. And I'm using my hot glue gun to attach everything down. I think I purchased this ribbon at Michael's. It was on sale, so I want to say maybe it was like $3 for 15-20 feet. I can't remember, but I know it was a really good deal. I have some of these ornaments in my crafting stash that I've had for years that I found at a thrift store, and I wanted it to be a little bit more detailed, so I have some of these greenery that I purchased from Dollar Tree. I believe it is a garland that I'm just cutting down to size, and as you see here, I'm trying to make a little wreath out of it. I just twisting it back onto itself, making sure that it was nice and connected, and then I'm using some hot glue to attach it to the front of my hat. I wanted my little ornament to sit in the center of it, so I'm just making sure that I have the little wreath where I like it, add my hot glue, and place it right onto my hat. I did have to hold it into place for a little bit just so that the hot glue had time to set. And then for my ornament, I'm just taking off the little hanger, trying to find the best side because this ornament is covered in glitter. And over the years, a lot of the glitter fell off. So I'm just trying to find the pretty side, add my hot glue to the back of the ornament. And once again, press down firmly until it's set. Like I said, I really wanted my hat to be double-sided. So this is how my first side looks. And I really like it, but I did want to decorate the back side. I always like a variety and I like to switch things up, so if I have more options it's good for me, but if you do not want to do that you can also skip this step. Now as I'm decorating, I wanted to say hello. My name is Justina. I like to make, create, and inspire fun art things with you through my DIYs. I do a lot of holiday decor, house decor, easy DIYs, and if that is your cup of tea, I hope you stick around by clicking on that big red subscribe button down below. It is totally free, by the way. And if you subscribe, you will be joined our virtual art family. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for being here and clicking on today's video. I really do appreciate each and every one of you being here. It does mean a lot, and I'm so grateful that you are. If you can at least share it to one of your friends this holiday season so that my videos can get further out into YouTube, that would be deeply appreciated too. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope that you are enjoying it thus far. If you are, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. It really does help out my channel. And also leave me a comment down below if your family plays holiday games. Getting back into our DIY, as you saw, I added a bunch of greenery plus this wooden snowflake that I got at Dollar Tree, and now I'm just adding some fake snow. I got fake snow from Dollar Tree as well. It comes in a really big pack, and I'm just adding it right on top of my hat here. I did add a bunch of hot glue to the top of the hat, and then I'm just adding the fake snow right on top of it, pressing down, making sure that everything adheres well. I did have to set that to the side because after placing everything onto the snowman, I noticed I was missing one more thing. My snowman was missing some arms. Now, in hindsight, you can always go out and grab some sticks and stick it into the side. However, I wanted this to be a cohesive piece, so I have some scrap foam in my stash that was the perfect size. Once again, I'm sketching out where I want to cut it, and then I'm going to use a wood burning tool to cut the foam. This has worked best for me, but remember, if you are recreating this DIY and you use a wood burning tool to cut anything but wood, make sure that you are well ventilated. Your windows need to be open, you may need a fan, your door open, or even to wear a mask. Now, I suggest doing that while burning wood also, but this stuff can be toxic because you are cutting into foam, and a lot of this stuff turns into fiberglass once you start burning it. So I had my fan on, my window was open, and so was my door, and I just cut that foam right in half. As you see here, it did crack a little, but all I needed to do was hot glue it into place, and it set up nicely. Now, these rectangle pieces would have been just fine, but I really wanted them to look more like arms and sticks, so I'm taking my wood burning tool again and started cutting away at the foam, making sure the bottom piece is still thick so that we can add it into our snowman and be part of our game. After I had my arms in the shape that I wanted it, I just needed to add some brown paint. This time I went in with my Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint in the color Java, and I gave it about 2 coats and then set that to the side to dry. The very last thing I needed to do was make holes on the side of my snowman so that his arms would fit. Now, once again, if you have sticks, you can just poke it in. However, I'm using my wood burning tool again for this. I'm adding a rectangle with a pencil so that I have a idea of where I want my arms to be located, and then using that wood burning tool and cutting away all of the foam that I don't need. Then I remove the foam that's in the center, add my arms in, and now it's time to see how this game works. Just a reminder, here is what we started with 4 blank coolers, and we have transformed it into this adorable snowman that I absolutely love. Ideally, the whole point of this game is to stack up the snowman as you see here. Now, we like to play with partners, and normally we like to play outside in the backyard so there is plenty of space. But however, for video purposes, I will show you how to play this game in my hallway. You're going to need a partner. One partner is going to seek out the boxes, and the other partner is going to stack up the boxes. But at some point in the game, each one of you are going to be blindfolded. The person who is seeking out the boxes will be blindfolded first, and your partner will help guide you find those pieces. But at the same time, we are going to ask you some trivia questions. After your partner has all of the boxes, then it's time to switch. Your other partner will put on the blindfold and start stacking up the boxes with the help of you to guide them which one goes where. At the same time, we're still going to ask you those trivia questions, and you can use whatever trivia questions you like. We just typically ask some Christmas questions since it's the holiday season. The fastest players to get their snowman stacked and in the correct form wins the game, and this is so much fun for all types of ages, and we have lots of laughs throughout the whole thing. Remember, you can always change up the rules for your family and your design however you see fit. Now, another thing that we like to do to make it even harder, if you get the trivia question wrong, we make you spin 3 times with that blindfold, so it makes it a little bit tricky, and it is hilarious. I would love for you guys to recreate this game and let me know how you play it, and if you want to share it to my Facebook page or my Instagram, I would love to see your versions of this game. Alright friends, that completes today's DIY. I had a blast making this, and I am super excited to play this with my family through the Christmas season. I would love to see it if you recreate it, so don't forget to post me in my Instagram or my Facebook page. Thank you all so much for clicking on today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to do all of the YouTubey things, and as always, I will see you in the next one.